Several advertisers measure their success based on the number of conversions that come through their website. A conversion can be almost anything that you name: a purchase, a registration, contest entry, or signups to a newsletter. Now, traditionally, Google only offered measurement data for these types of conversions using a simple click-to-convert method. So when a user made that conversion or that registration, Google would pick up that action and record it in your AdWords account. Now, what about those users who weren't ready to make that conversion the first time they saw an ad? They may have taken days or even weeks to make that purchase or that registration. And what about those users who they decide to actually search on your brand and then convert directly to your website? So now, with view-through conversions, Google has the ability to capture this data. Now, all users are unique, which means that all conversion paths are going to be unique. One user may take 5 days to make a conversion, while another user needs a little bit more time. They may want to do a little bit of research. So they'll take 30 days to make that conversion. Now, regardless of how long or where they make that conversion, Google will drop a cookie on their browser that will last for 30 days, tracking whether or not that conversion has been made. Now, a benefit of view-through conversions is the ability for advertisers to optimize their campaigns based on how users are responding to their ads, even if they don't click on it the first time around. So with view-through conversions, once it's implemented, you can review your data and then make more informed and smarter optimization choices. Now, an important feature of view-through conversions is the flexibility to adjust your conversion window time period. So if you know that your sales cycle is typically 7 days, you can set the conversion window to only track and report 7 days of conversion data. Now at this time, we mentioned that the cookie only lasts 30 days. So our conversion window time period only tracks a maximum of 30 days. Now, best practice for setting your conversion window is to try and keep that time period constant. The reason why you would want to do this is because, first of all, you want clean data. You want to get the best data possible. When you change your conversion window time period, it's only going to apply to future data and not retroactively. So if you're trying to track only 7 days of data, and then in the middle of those 7 days, you think, oh, actually, I think I want to do this for 14 days, you're starting all the way at the beginning. Incorporating view-through conversions into your ROI calculations will help give you a better understanding of the impact of your display campaigns. Now, since we've been talking about counting conversions, this is probably a good time to review Google's Conversion Optimizer tool. Conversion Optimizer is a free tool in your AdWords account that tracks and reports conversions and CPAs that are linked to an AdWords account, to an active AdWords account. Now, we have another tool, another free tool, that also reports on conversions called Google Analytics. I think some of you may actually have that implemented on some of your sites. Now, with Google Analytics, it certainly does look at conversions and also a whole host of other post-click data points. However, if you are a user who you only want to look at the number of conversions that is linked to an active AdWords campaign that you have running, then we would recommend Conversion Optimizer. Now, Conversion Optimizer it actually automatically optimizes your bidding strategy and the placements or sites to generate conversions, to generate more conversions. Now, because it's fully automated, advertisers who make large-scale CPA optimizations would find this tool very useful because we're going to save them a lot of time. So how does this work? We can break it down into 3 simple steps. First, Conversion Optimizer will observe the behavior of the auction and your AdWords account. And when it's observing the behavior, what it's doing is trying to see where these conversions are coming from. Now, once it feels as if it's generated enough data, it will enable a very sophisticated prediction model or mechanism that will make an educated guess on sites that are going to convert, that are more likely to convert for you. Now, the last piece is that it will now incorporate your CPA. So now we're at this point where we know which sites are going to convert well for us or are likely to convert for us, and then we're going to incorporate your CPA and only show ads where we'll get a conversion at the CPA that we just noted. So what kind of CPA is best for us? We have two different CPA models, target CPA and maximum CPA. And target CPA is a very new model. It actually, I think, came out just a few weeks ago here in Southeast Asia. So target CPA is an average. So when you're looking at your individual conversions, what you'll notice is that each CPA is going to be a little bit higher or a little bit lower than the target CPA that you noted in your account. Now, with maximum CPA, this is the maximum amount that you're willing to pay per acquisition. So we are talking about CPAs, but it's important to note that all of this cost is actually coming at a CPC basis. So when you're inputting CPAs into your account, target or maximum, this is actually only giving the system guidance on how to serve your ads. Now we're at this point where we think, okay, target, max, I know what they do, which one is best for me? So target CPA was actually created because we heard a lot of advertiser feedback saying that your traditional maximum CPA model doesn't really fit into how we as advertisers or as marketers track our conversions or measure our conversions. So we took that feedback and created target CPA. Now target CPA is an easier model of the two. And if you're a first-time user to Conversion Optimizer, we would recommend target CPA. Now, one thing that we have noticed so far with its use is that it's actually easier and it consistently achieves a particular CPA. Now, if you're a user who may want to use maximum CPA, this is for somebody or for an advertiser who is more comfortable or more familiar with bidding on a maximum CPC or bidding on a maximum CPA basis. Now, this is really for advertisers who are looking more at the sheer number of conversions versus the actual cost per acquisition. So, like everything that we've talked about today, what's really important is to head back to your office and try all these things out. So just test, test, test. In terms of CPA models, be as creative as possible. Use both CPA models. Try different sorts of bids. And once you have tried those, you've tried those models, review your data. Once you've reviewed your data, you'll be able to tell which CPA model worked best for you and your business and brings back the highest results. Thanks.